Hello everyone, Lindsay here. So today I'm going to be giving you a review on Freshly. So I'm going to give you my pros, my cons, and then my verdict overall if I'm going to continue with Freshly or if I'm done with Freshly. So if you want to see and hear the thoughts on Freshly, then go ahead and continue watching. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the pros. Then after I'm done with the pros, I'll go ahead and give you the cons. So the pros. So of course, Freshly is a meal delivery service, and unlike HelloFresh that I tried on my channel, Freshly delivers you the meals cooked. So the meals are cooked, they're prepared already, all of the seasonings and everything's in there for you to try out. All you have to do is microwave it. And usually the meals are ready in about 4 to 6 minutes. Some of the meals range from 2 minutes on. So maybe you might have to warm up one meal for 2 minutes, but then all meals that I received recommended that you let it sit for 2 minutes just to rest and you know, maybe not burn your tongue when you're eating. I'm not sure. So it's delivered straight to your door. You don't have to cook. So not having to cook is pretty awesome. That's like a reason why I tried Freshly, because I wanted to get this, and if it was something like that was nutritious and healthy and ready to go and yummy, it could be something that I could incorporate into every week, because I'm going to be going back to teaching this coming up fall because school's going to be starting. So I want something that I can, you know, eat right away, maybe take to school with me for my lunches, or when I'm coming home at night and I don't feel like cooking, then I have it already prepared. I can just whip it up and throw it in the microwave, and that's a lot more better for me than going out to eat. And it is quicker because going out to eat, you have to find a place to eat, drive there, pick it up, or eat there, and this is just nice to have at home. So that's another pro. It's for people that are interested, all the meals that they serve to you are gluten-free. So I don't mind gluten in my meals, so that wasn't something that I was like, oh my god, I need to have. So, but just I wanted to let you know if that's something you're looking for. So it's gluten-free. Also, they don't have any refined sugars in their meals or artificial flavors, which is pretty awesome, because a lot of pre-packaged meals and frozen meals have a lot of preservatives and artificial sugars and flavors and refined sugars, and I'm pretty sure most, if not all of them, are contain gluten. So if you're looking for something that's a lot healthier for you, then Freshly will be a great option for you. And of course, in the name it says fresh, so of course all the meals are very fresh when you get them, and when you heat them up and you eat them. So all of the veggies that we received in each meal were fresh and flavorful. Oh, let me stop there. I don't want to say flavorful, but all the veggies that you receive in your meals are very fresh. There's still, some of them are still have like a bite to them. When you bite into them, they're kind of crunchy. They're not all soggy, and you can just tell that it's almost like somebody just cooked it on the stove, and it doesn't taste like you're getting something microwaved. You know, when you're having like maybe one of those microwave meals, and like the carrots or the onions or whatever you go to eat it, and you could just tell it's been frozen, it's sitting there, and it's been just dehydrated of its waters, and now it's just left with just kind of a weird, not great texture. And unlike those meals, Freshly's meals are not like that, so that's really awesome. The package comes all secure and insulated. It also comes with two of the ice packs, so one on the bottom, one on the top, to keep all the meals nice and cool for you until you're able to put them in your refrigerator. So that is awesome, and you can reuse those frozen ice packs as well. On Track was the delivery service that delivered the meal to me, and unlike the UPS from Freshly, On Track is right away. They let you know much more quicker where they're at, when it's delivered, and they check in with you so much better than UPS does. So I like that. I liked that On Track delivered it. I didn't know when it had came, but you know, because I was sleeping in the morning and it came kind of early, so I didn't know it had gotten there. But when I looked at my phone, like right when they delivered, the email got sent to me that it was delivered. So if you're looking for something that's going to give you like more of like an on-spot notice of when it's delivered, then this might be the meal delivery service for you. The meals that I thought were the most delicious and that if I keep Freshly, I would want to reorder if it's available, is the Caribbean chicken and the Southwest chicken bowl. So those two meals were like yummy and delicious, and and every meal, even the ones that I didn't really care for as much, they were all very filling. So you don't have to eat this and then think, I need something else to eat. I think in the Caribbean chicken video, I did say I was still hungry afterwards, but that wasn't because of the meal. It was because I was already super hungry to begin with, and I waited way too long to eat lunch. So that has nothing to do with Freshly. That was me and my fault, and not the meal itself. So the meals are filling. So if that's something you were worried about, the portion size, I think you could be okay on that. And I'm pretty sure my boyfriend, he had a meal, or I think he had one of the meals, and my niece had one of the meals, and they did not complain about the portion size at all. They were filled up after eating the meals, and so that is a very good pro. Alright, so now we're done with the pros. Now let's go ahead and move on to the cons. So one of the cons, the food is sometimes bland. So there were a lot of really delicious meals, but a lot of times I was finding myself saying that the food was bland. It needed something. It needed more. It needed pepper. It needed hot sauce. It needed cilantro. It just needed something else to go along with it. And the whole point of getting this meal delivery service and having the meals already prepared for me is so then I can eat it and not have to add anything to it. So they did have like recommendations of what you could add, which was super awesome, but I don't want to have to be adding stuff. You know, I want to just eat it how it comes. I don't want to be like, these veggies need butter, or these veggies need salt or pepper or whatever. You know, most of the time it was the vegetables that were very bland. Yes, they were fresh, but they were very bland. So that was a very big con. And also some of the food, like the steak was kind of bland, in my opinion. The meatloaf was kind of bland. I would want those cooked differently and with more flavor. And I don't know if it's because they're trying to cut back on the refined sugars for you and whatnot, and artificial flavors, so that's why it's more bland. I don't know, but you know, after trying some of the meals and seeing that, you know, that was the trend kept coming up where the food just wasn't that tasty, I didn't want to, you know, keep eating my food some of the time. Like the green beans, for example, with the turkey, the roasted turkey meal, like I didn't want to finish those because they didn't have that much flavor. So even though they were super fresh, like I'm not going to force myself to eat something that I'm not enjoying, you know? So that's a big con. Next thing was the choices weren't that desirable. So when I was looking online to pick the meals that I wanted delivered to me, you know, the meals kind of looked good, but there weren't really meals where I was like, ooh, I want to try that out. So, and then some of the meals I was like hesitant on, and it's funny that some of the meals that I was hesitant on were actually the meals that ended up in my pro side. The Caribbean chicken, I was like, what if that stuff on top is too sweet and then I don't want to eat the chicken? So I was nervous about that. But then it tasted super delicious, and that was one of my favorite meals. And then the Southwest chicken, I was like, whoa, what about, you know, if I don't like how it tastes, or, you know, sometimes I don't want to eat corn with everything, and, you know, so I was nervous about that. But then that was also one of my favorite meals. So although the choices weren't desirable, there are sometimes things where you're like, ooh, I do want, like, I don't know how that's going to taste, but it's something new to try. So that can be a con, but it's also a pro, I guess, depending on how you look at it. But for me, I felt like it was more of a con because, you know, looking at the choices that they're providing, like if I'm going to continue Freshly, and after trying most of the meals, 4 meals are more on the con side to me than the pro side. So if they're more on the con side, then like, you know, there's not going to be a lot more choices for me to choose from. Next up for the con, they have a use by date. So the use by date, I feel like was a lot quicker than I thought I would eat the meals, because some of the time I'm going out and about and I don't have time to be home and warm up the meals. So that was kind of a con, because the use by date was pretty quick, and I know it's because it's fresh food and they don't really have preservatives in it, and I understand that, but you know, I just felt like with HelloFresh, I thought like I could hold on to some of the stuff longer and then cook it, but with Freshly, I felt like I needed to hurry up and get through the meals a lot quicker than, you know, the HelloFresh meals. So that was more of a con, in my opinion. They're unlike HelloFresh, since Freshly already has the meals prepared for you, you're not given the recipes. And that's kind of a con for me, because if I'm trying out these new foods and then they're not going to be having it available in the future, like, you know, maybe the Caribbean chicken, they have it this week, but they don't have it next week, or they don't have it the week after. But I really like the Caribbean chicken. I want to be able to make that stuff in the future. And it's, yes, maybe I can Google a recipe, but I don't want to have to do that. I would rather them just give me the recipes. So that is a con, which I knew that they weren't going to be giving me recipes, but you know, trying this new service, I think that would be awesome if they did. So that they don't give you recipes, that can be a con. The meals are single meals. So if you have a family and you're getting this for your family, it's like you have to warm up all 4 meals, or however many people you have in your family, wait, let it sit 2 minutes, serve them, and I feel like that's just more of a production some of the time. So I don't think that would be the best option for families. So if you're by yourself, then single meals work out well. You know, I had some of the videos where I filmed with my niece, I filmed with my boyfriend, and they had a different meal from myself. So that is kind of like, you know, it can be good, but it also can be bad, because if you want to be eating the same thing, then you have to order 2 of those meals instead of just 1. So depending on how you look at it, I feel like it's more of a con that it's a single meal instead of double meal, because sometimes if it's something I really like, I'd rather have 2 of it. And I could have ordered 2 of some of the stuff, but for this first time I wanted to, I wanted to just try a wide range of what they had available. Okay, next up, some of the times when I was eating the food, and I wasn't eating super slowly, the food got cold. So I felt like, I don't know if it's because it's not freshly prepared or what, and it's just microwaved, but the food, I was eating it and then, you know, visiting, and then I go to eat some more and my food got cold super quickly. Like the turkey dinner, that's partially why I was just like, that was part of the reason why I didn't want to keep eating, because the food got cold and I was just like, I don't want to eat cold food, and I don't want to keep getting up and re-microwaving it. So that was a con. And then overall, out of the 6 meals, 4 of the meals I didn't want to repurchase. Like I wouldn't want to reorder again. So most of the food I wouldn't order again. So I feel like that's a big con. You know, 4 out of 6 things I didn't want to reorder. That's a lot. You know, unlike with HelloFresh, it was only 1 of the meals that I probably wouldn't want to reorder. You know, 1 out of the 3. But with this one, it's 4 out of the 6. That's just a big amount, you know. So those were my cons overall. So now that we've gone through the pros, we've gone through the cons, I'm going to let you know, will I or won't I be repurchasing Freshly? Drum roll, please. No, that's not a drum roll. So I will not be repurchasing Freshly. Unfortunately, after trying out the meals and, you know, the price point on Freshly, I do not feel like it's worth my money. Overall, I think it's not really the price that made me not want to have Freshly. It's more of the meals themselves, because a lot of the times with them being so bland and just like good but not great meals, I don't want to have to repurchase it and then be nervous that the meals aren't going to taste very good, and then I'm just forced to be eating them because I paid for it, you know, and I don't want it to go to waste. So I'm not going to be repurchasing Freshly. I actually, when I'm filming this video, I already went and canceled my subscription. I won't be leaving any like any promo codes or anything in my description box, because I didn't know if I should be sharing the promo codes if I didn't know for sure if I was going to repurchase it. So I won't be repurchasing Freshly, and depending on how you feel, you can try out Freshly yourself. I know there's promo codes online where you'll save like 20 bucks, so it ends up being like $40 instead of $60 for 6 meals. So but for me, I just feel like it's not worth it. The meals weren't great enough to you know, buy again, and I'm really sad about that, because I was really excited for Freshly, and I thought the meals were going to be a lot better than they were. So but anyways, at least I tried it. Okay, so those were my thoughts on Freshly. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please go ahead and let me know in the comments below if you are doing a meal delivery service and you think something is really awesome or something that I should keep away from and never try. Leave that in the comments below. And if you are trying meal delivery service such as Freshly or HelloFresh or something else, let me know what food recipe or meal you've tried that's really awesome, because I would love to hear that. Anyways, hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.